All right, welcome to episode 2 of the Twinjitsu podcast. I am one of your hosts. My name is Justin Wohler. I'm a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Next to me is my worst half, my twin.
Chris Wohler, also a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. Woke up with just an incredible mood today, knowing that we were going to do the podcast. I've been so excited and upbeat and ready to go. We have a guest, Evan, who we work with. Are we saying last names or are we staying anonymized?
I mean, up to Evan.
Yeah, so I'm Evan Muncey. I'm not a black belt.
Not yet.
What belt are you?
The blue belt.
Brown belt when he goes to church.
Make sure you're talking into the microphone instead of talking to the camera the best you can.
Okay.
Just, you're a white belt in podcasting, so I'm probably a white belt 2 stripes. What do you think you are in podcasting, Chris?
Podcasting, it's irrelevant. I'm a black belt. I'm a black belt in entertainment, so we're here.
Yeah. All right. The talent has arrived. All right, so Evan Muncey, you've trained with us for a while. How many years have you been training?
Almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years. Within the last 6 months, became one of our employees. He is the program director at our Franklin location, which means he's kind of doing everything. He's up front at the front desk, handling sales, handling customer service, and he also helps on the mat, assisting time to time. And then soon he's going to be teaching a class, which is cool. But the reason I wanted to have you on, and we're not going to talk about this too much, but you can see the skateboards, and the shiny gold one says something other than Twinjitsu. It says technique is king. And that's something we're not going to talk too much about today. You could go to techniqueisking.co and sign up for the newsletter, but more information to come. Evan is an artist, and we want to be able to give him a platform to share his art. And the reason I wanted to have him on, I think you can find technique within everything you do. And I want to try and talk to him about his art and how it relates to jiu-jitsu, how it relates to his journey in jiu-jitsu, and all that good stuff. So, Evan, let's just get a little backstory, a little origin story. Have you been an artist like your whole life? Like, have you been drawing?
Yeah,
forever?
As long as I can remember, I've been drawing, painting, doing all that stuff.
Cool. And okay, so how many years, like if you had to compare it to jiu-jitsu, how many years of consistent training have you done as an artist?
Consistent, probably somewhere around 2.5 decades.
And how many competitions, if we're relating it to jiu-jitsu?
Go ahead.
Yeah, how many competitions have you had? Do they do that? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They do.
I mean, they do.
Yes,
They do
Oh,
art
sorry,
competitions.
slow down. Pablo Picasso over here.
No, I've actually never really entered any competitions for art. It was never really anything that I was interested in.
So did we answer the question I asked before the talent derailed us? Or how many years consistently do you think? Like your whole life, have you just been
Pretty
really
much.
not taking breaks or anything?
There's been like long periods, I think like months at a time, where I couldn't find it in me to like make art. And then like taking those breaks made it more enjoyable to come back.
Do you have a distinct memory when you were like, this is something I want to do forever? Or like, I love this so much, I'm going to do this forever? Or
Probably towards like the end of high school. That's when I realized like it was definitely something that I was going to do probably for the rest of my life.
have you experimented with, I guess, what's your main outlet for art? Like, I know it's you do graphic design, but would it be drawing or painting or?
I'd say now it's probably more digital stuff, like the graphic design stuff and like drawing digitally. But overall, probably just drawing pencil and paper, nothing special.
Have you tried other forms of art like sculpting and all the other different types of painting and all that stuff?
Oh, for sure. I think that Like, it's nice to be able to, like, branch out and try different aspects of art just to, like, I don't know, just to experiment.
So let's go to your jujitsu journey a little bit and kind of put the art on the back end and we'll loop it all around. Um, what got you into trying jujitsu out?
Honestly,
No,
No,
don't
lie.
be honest.
Oh,
Lie.
okay.
Whatever's going to get the most views, say
Yeah,
that.
Right,
something inspirational.
And go.
Add
Okay.
some trauma or
No,
something.
I had some friends that trained, and I kept telling myself I wanted to do it, and then finally, like, I had set a goal to accomplish something before I started jujitsu. I did it, and then I was like, "All right, it's time to do jujitsu now."
So you've been training about 4 years, you said. Um, Obviously there's in the name, it's martial arts. There's the art aspect, but I think a lot of people on the surface looking at jujitsu or wrestling or MMA and they just see violence, right? Which
Sure.
obviously that's a huge part of it. But what kind of parallels have you seen between whether it's the process of making art or the mediums of your art? Like, do you see any parallels between jujitsu and your art?
Oh, for sure. I think it's really cool that, like, just like with art, jujitsu, we could all sit through the same classes day after day, and it's still not gonna result in the same product because everybody's game is different. People tend to lean towards certain things that interest them, and I notice the same thing in art. Like, yeah, I think that it's just cool that it can be different for everyone.
So I was thinking about this and how you said it's like never going to be the same with jujitsu. If you think about jujitsu as an art, like your partner is your canvas
Right.
and it's going to change.
Pause.
Hold on. Moment of silence. Uh, and what can happen in creating art, like me and Chris have done different. Oh, he's cooking. He's cooking. We've done different arts, such as like music. I've dabbled a little bit in like painting and stuff. Bob Ross, the famous painter, always talked about happy little accidents, right?
Yeah.
And we would come across that in making music and in training. Like, if you are trying to hit the move perfectly, sometimes it may work, but it limits your other options for when it doesn't, I guess.
Right.
And I was thinking about that a lot, thinking about talking to you, and I'm glad you brought that up of like being open to like when you approach something, I'm sure you have an idea in your head, and sometimes it comes out exactly how you think it is.
Yeah.
But then a lot of times it turns into its own thing. You're just kind of putting out what the world's given you.
Right.
What percentage, let's say you're going to like paint something or work on something, how often does it come out exactly like you planned, or how often do those little happy accents happen?
I'd probably say like 60-40. 60% of the time it comes out exactly the way that I intended it to, and 40% of the time it just kind of like I let it do its own thing.
It evolves. It
Yeah.
takes its own shape.
I kind of lost my train of thought. I wanted to go somewhere.
I was going to ask,
Okay.
how has jujitsu influenced your art, like,
Hmm.
or infected your art, as Justin likes to
Justin Byers.
throw throw that around?
A lot actually. Like, it inspires me with different pieces all the time. Like, I'll hear somebody say something jujitsu related, and I'm like, oh, that's funny. And then I decide like I want to create something that maybe is, like a play off of what they said or what they did.
Yeah, you make a lot of fun free stickers that you give away at the gym, and they're always like, you have your own style, but they're always unique in their own way, which is cool.
Let's go back to the happy little accidents. What are some happy little accident? Wait, is it happy accidents or happy little accidents? What is it?
I
What
think
did Bob
You're
Ross say?
labeling it.
Bob Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I think it's Happy Little Accidents.
Okay. All right.
I
so
had a happy little accident on the way here in the car.
yeah.
I've been eating a lot of hard-boiled eggs.
Have you experienced one of those during training, like Chris or Evan, where you were going for a technique, you found something else? Can you share?
Yeah, I mean, like all the time.
Anything
Especially like in a
specifically?
flow roll, like drilling. In more than like a flow roll, I've experienced it. I mean, I think it was with you, but in like a truck position, there's like Kimuras and stuff, like just playing around in positions.
Yeah, that's kind of where jujitsu you can get creative at certain points and come up with your own stuff. Have you ever come up with your own move that you've never been? Well, what can happen sometimes is you think you come up with your own move and you kind of did. You discovered it on your own, but it's been discovered before. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Is there anything like that you've come across?
Not off the top of my head.
I recently came up with a Instagram move. I still haven't posted it, but
I have.
the paper cutter to crucifix thing. Remember I showed that?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, maybe you can check out Twinjitsu podcast on YouTube. Give us a subscribe and maybe we'll release that super secret instructional.
The move I'm thinking of is, but I mean I took the move from De La Hiva and applied it to K-guard, the arm bar where you loop your leg through.
Oh,
so
you like just changed your leg?
Yep.
Cool. All right. So, do you have any other questions about art for Evan? Because we've got maybe another 20 minutes to fill here. I'm just kidding. I've got.
Do you have a favorite art piece?
Stop touching me.
That I've done or somebody else?
Somebody else.
Honestly, anything by Dave Tevnall. He's a tattoo artist, and it's a really unique style. It's like a mixture of like Japanese tattoo work mixed with like comic book art and graffiti. And it's some really cool stuff.
How would you describe your art style?
I think that mine's like heavily influenced by graffiti and like skateboard culture. And now jujitsu, like jujitsu is definitely infected my my art.
You should get some medication for that, buddy.
What if you could describe your jujitsu style? How would you describe it?
Chaos. Absolutely chaos.
How so?
No, it's not chaotic. I don't know. It's hard to say like or describe it right now because it's still like changing pretty regularly. I mean, this year probably in the like of the 4 years I've trained, this year has probably been the most consistent I've been in the 4 years. So it's like I feel like it's evolving kind of rapidly.
Yeah, I've seen you be super consistent once you got the job at the gym, which to some people's surprise, when you start working in jiu-jitsu, sometimes your training falls off.
Sure.
And I've seen the opposite with you, which has been cool. You've been, out of all the staff, probably the most consistent person training.
Yeah, what has changed with working at the gym now, being there all the time? Like, obviously, you're presented the opportunity to train more, but that doesn't always, you still have to make that choice to train consistently like you have been. But how has that transition been to now working in jiu-jitsu?
Well, I think like it's kind of I don't know, being grateful for the situation because before like there was a lot of times where I couldn't train. Like work kept me late or they'd, send me out of town for work or whatever. And so now it's like, well, I'm here. Like I should be grateful for the opportunity and just take advantage.
All right. So to loop it back to your styles, how do you think your art style and your jiu-jitsu style meet? What's similar about them?
Ultimately just having fun. I mean, a lot of my art, I don't necessarily take super serious. I try to make things that are funny. I mean, I want them to be visually like appealing, but I also want to like be funny and like make jokes.
Well, I tell you, your stickers have been appealing.
Let's go.
Nice. Don't touch me.
Don't touch me. Well, awesome.
He's still thinking about how good that joke was.
Yeah, I'm pretty. I mean, we got to come up with a joke award.
Let's stick to the topic.
Have there been any struggles like with pushing yourself to train after like being at the gym, putting in the hours of work throughout the day?
Honestly, like kind of the opposite. Like, I mean, I'm getting older, not that I'm old, but at 36, I probably shouldn't be training twice a day, every day. I should give my time, like my body time to recover. So sometimes it's like knowing that I shouldn't train and like taking it easy.
You train moderate though. You're not, I mean, you'll train hard sometimes, but you're never training at 100%, which definitely helps.
Right.
And you're tapping early and all the stuff you're supposed to do. Tapping a lot. Tapping early, tapping a lot. It's a joke. Laugh, guys, so people don't think I'm being mean.
You gotta add the laugh track to your.
Yeah, I gotta mess with my sound effects. That'll be next week. Stay tuned for episode 3 when we add something even more distracting to the podcast for us. Do you have any questions for us about art? Since we are also artistes?
Yeah. What got you guys into making music? Like what kind of like sparked it?
Chris?
Well, I mean, we were interested in that. I mean, since we were kids, because our dad was a musician, so we would go to his like shows, and then eventually he went into the music business, and we were just always around it. So we always wanted to create. I remember, I think Mom still has them, and they're quite embarrassing. We wrote about 6 songs when 9/11 happened. We were very young.
I do not remember that.
Yeah,
well,
they're pretty intense.
Never forget, but I do. I don't remember the songs. I think the first thing we ever put out as like artists, besides like making drawings and stuff in school, our dad's another guy at the record label had a laptop. He let us borrow.
It was like one of the first Apple
MacBooks. Yeah.
Okay.
And probably 2000. No. Yeah, 2002.
We were
probably.
in 8th grade, so we were
2003,
13,
2004. And we borrowed the laptop. It had GarageBand.
Okay.
And we just recorded our first rap mixtape with GarageBand and the built-in mic on the MacBook. And then we just passed it out.
We burned a bunch of CDs after we finished it, and we didn't pass them out. We sold them and spent $60 in the lunch line. We sold out of records.
Got a plate of fries.
Yeah.
But that was, and the school, like Chris talked about in the last podcast, the school we went to is in the country, but there was all sorts of different, walks of life that went there, from like country kids to some like suburban kids, like neighborhood kids like us. And it was a small school, but there was a huge like theater and music program, and that heavily influenced us too. Because instead of making us take like a pointless class, we got to take classes we were interested, like guitar, or almost like high school, where we actually got some electives where you got to choose. When you were when did that start? 6th grade, 7th grade?
6th grade.
You got to choose like an elective, like a performing arts elective. And that was definitely a big.
I mean, one year we did rock band, and like we learned how to record, and we were all into punk music. And then once we got into high school, rap kind of consumed our lives. You made some disco music for a while, or whatever it's called. What is it?
Electronic music, but I mean, it was always hip hop
influence.
I never went full dubstep. Never go full dubstep. Don't do it, folks.
You couldn't grow the hair.
Yeah, no, I couldn't grow the hair. Yeah, so we haven't been making music, and we could make the time for it. I think that's how we've done it in the past is we kind of take a break and then we come back to it after a few years. And I think with art, and I'm curious to talk to you about this because you make art all the time. It's like you have to experience life and things to be able to make more art.
Right.
You have to consume to produce.
Right.
And I've heard a few creators, I wish I could remember off the top of my head, but like saying like, hey, it's okay to take a break from producing and consume. You need that for your producing. You know?
Right.
So how do you balance like, I mean, you're making art every day. Like, do you get burnt out? Do you just keep the discipline just like it was? Okay. Like jiu-jitsu, like, okay, I go to class on Monday nights. I do art now. Or do you it's just, you can't take it away from you?
So honestly, like if you were to look at, so I primarily work in Procreate when I'm doing digital stuff on my iPad. If you were to look in there, there's probably 1,000 like
You just have a bunch of projects
that aren't completed or things that I lost interest in. So yeah, I could create all the time, but not everything makes it like to the final edit.
Do you have to be like disciplined in a sense of like telling yourself, oh, I have to do this every day, or you do it? It's just a part of your life.
I think before, like I would have had to force myself sometimes to do it. Like I'd have to be disciplined. Whereas now, like I know, like I do it when I want to do it. And that just happens to be that it's more often than not.
If you can think of one, and if you can't, take you to the back and shoot you in the head.
Okay, yeah. No pressure.
If you could think of one, what would be like a lesson you've learned from art that you've taken to jiu-jitsu, or a lesson you've learned from jiu-jitsu that you've taken to art? Besides having fun, which is the answer you gave earlier.
Well, no, but like not taking it too seriously.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I knew that was coming.
No,
give me something else. What's something else? I love that answer.
Yeah.
For you, I love it. Let's come up with another one.
From jiu-jitsu to art.
How about don't get the paper wet?
Oh yeah, that's solid.
I mean, when you're doing art, you don't want to get your paper wet, right? Wait, am I doing this wrong?
Yeah,
Is this not my question?
No, yeah, I think it
Okay.
was for Evan.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lines aren't permanent.
I like that.
Okay.
I'm glad you're answering for Evan. Is this like AI?
Yeah, this is really good. Thank you.
Chris's version of AI. It's not Grok, it's Shrek. All right, so I think we should go to a new segment. What?
Nothing.
You ready?
Yeah, if you're here, who's scheduling all the tattoo appointments?
Do you have a roast for me, Evan?
No, I've got nothing right now.
Appreciate it.
You got a roast for me because I'm hungry.
Yeah. I'm glad you got that one before you. All right. It's time for Twinjitsu's most recurring segment. This segment has been done twice. Well, this will be the second time it's ever been done. We're doing Jiu-Jitsu Would You Rather. So today, and this is for both of you, you can answer separately, but Chris may answer for you, Evan. We've learned that that's a very...
Just touch my thigh if you need me to answer for you.
Would you rather be a 5-year white belt with gnarly cauliflower ear, and you're not sandbagging? Like you are a legit 5-year struggle with it white belt, but you got some sweet gnarly cauliflower ear, or a purple belt prodigy who's good, but when you're on the mats, you're full NPC mode, and anytime someone does anything near you or says something to you, you respond with us. So that's our would you rather. Would you rather be a 5-year white belt with gnarly cauliflower ear, or a purple belt prodigy who goes full NPC mode on the mat and only responds with os? Chris?
Gnarly cauliflower ear. I don't like vegetables, so it's not going to be that one. I never say, oh, so if I could replace that with S or something like that, maybe I would pick that option. But so I'm gonna do karate is my answer.
Switch from
Thanks.
jiu-jitsu to karate.
Yeah, if those are my two options, I'm out.
All right. Way to yes and the bit. Evan, for you?
Honestly, I think I might have to go the purple belt route.
Because you're a blue belt?
Well, yeah, obviously. Like, if I can upgrade, I'm taking the upgrade.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I think if I'm a white belt, 5 years under my belt, and I have cauliflower ear, I think people are gonna start questioning like stolen valor.
Yeah. All right. Do you let's talk about some cauliflower ear. Chris, you wish you had more cauliflower ear? What do you think about it? What are your opinions on it?
I wish I had more flavor.
Okay.
I don't care. I mean, yeah, you know. Do you wish? It sounds like you wish I had more cauliflower.
No. I wish I had more cauliflower ear.
No, I mean, yours is enough. It doesn't happen. You know, I think people who get cauliflower ear are probably getting smashed.
Or doing some smishing.
Or doing smashing, but
3 years Dagestan, and forget.
Yeah.
You'll get cauliflower ear. What about you, Evan? You don't have any, really?
I don't have any, I don't think. I mean, if it happens, cool. If it doesn't, it is what it is.
You know what they say if you get cauliflower on your left ear? Or wait, right ear?
no, it's somewhere else.
All right, so this brings us to our next exciting segment. We're going to do a segment. Originally, it was going to be called Twins Debate.
Which one's you?
They're both you. It looks like AI messed up. But they know it recognized the
looks
talent.
like Brad.
This segment was going to be called Twins Debate, but our dad, when we would fight when we were younger, he would always say, brothers love each other. Brothers love each other. So our new segment is called Brothers Love Each Other. Evan, I think this segment might only happen when we have a guest because you are going to have to decide who won the debate today.
Okay.
So the debate is guard pulling versus takedowns or starting from the feet, anti-guard pulling. Evan, why don't you pick who has to defend which side? So no matter what, you tell us it's guard pulling, I have to defend guard pulling throughout the debate.
Are we doing a European or American standard for the debate?
I don't know.
Chris, why don't you take takedowns, and Justin, why don't you take guard pulling?
Okay.
How do we start?
Yeah, I know. Chris did bring this up. I thought of this segment, and he was like, we don't know how to debate, right? So, guard pulling, I'll make my argument. Guard pulling is what separates. Hold on.
Well, what standard are we using?
European.
Trump standard?
European.
Okay.
So, guard pulling.
Can I get a croissant?
This is going well.
All right.
This segment's going.
I'm serious. I'm ready.
Guard pulling is what separates jiu-jitsu from other martial arts. I think it's kind of the purest form of using leverage against your partner to be able to overcome larger partners. And I think it's a staple of our sport. Opening
Great.
argument.
Staples are good. I prefer a nail. 2-inch long. Made of steel. And that's a takedown. Okay. Here's the difference. If we're in the street, you pulling guard, doesn't matter. I'm taking you down. If we're in a grocery store, you pulling guard, doesn't matter. I'm taking you down and I'm throwing a cucumber at your face.
That's great, sir.
Is it his time?
No.
Yeah. Lastly, I want to argue that takedowns are far superior than pulling guard because this guy's all about the art and we're doing jiu-jitsu. They score points. Pulling guard doesn't score points. Rest my case.
If you took me down in a grocery store, you're not getting away from my guard. Even if, ooh, we can punch.
I'll
We're
pull
in a
your pants off.
Oh, you did say you were going to grab a cucumber. Anyways, if we were playing by legit street rules, which we all know in the streets, you do not pull your opponent's pants down. That's a cardinal sin. If you took me down in a grocery store, I would either hip bump sweep you, I would scissor sweep you, I would hold you down until the janitor came by.
And what's he gonna do?
Well, he knows jiu-jitsu, buddy.
Oh yeah.
You didn't know that.
Yeah.
Janitor
Janitor.
trains. Okay, he's a blue belt.
Mm-hmm.
The good thing about him is he pretty much only muscles things.
When's his time up?
He pretty much only muscles things. So you're in for a rude awakening because I've got a tag team partner.
Yeah. Well, okay. Now my turn.
Okay.
You might sweep me. Fair.
Yeah.
Guess what I'm gonna do?
What?
Stand up. You're not gonna be able to hold me down. Gordon Ryan said that most jiu-jitsu people aren't good at holding people down, so I'm gonna stand right up. And guess what? Your janitor still comes. Not scared because I yell out the wrestler call. All my D1s gather around me and we just take all you down.
Okay, that is a great thing you brought up, a potential situation. What you didn't know is I entered the grocery store 30 minutes prior. You didn't know that.
I did know that because guess what? I'm there a lot.
I entered 30 minutes prior, hit the produce section. Okay. I stocked up on produce bags. Okay. I doubled them up. Zip ties. So I've already zip tied you. Your D1 wrestlers come looking for me. Where am I? Cereal aisle. Getting a quick snack, carving up because they're going to give me a run for my money, but I pull guard on them all day. They can't hold me down.
I'm glad you mentioned the cereal.
Yeah,
I'm glad you mentioned the cereal aisle because my D1 wrestlers are going to take you down and they're going to mother smoke you.
All right. Well,
to go with that bowl of cereal.
Well, I needed it. The milk was dry. I was eating it out of the box. So, who won? Evan?
I mean, who had the most valid points?
Oh, we're going off points? Well, Takedown scored points, so I guess Chris won that one.
Dang it. Well, it was a good debate.
Just so everyone knows, I pull guard. I'm not I don't like doing takedowns. I've broken several bones from takedowns. Yeah. Getting too old for that.
Yeah, I mean, the guard pull takedown argument. What do you think about pulling guard loses points somehow, deduct points, or auto gives the other person 2 points?
Yeah, I don't like that rule set, but that is becoming what people like because they want to see more wrestling. But I think you're putting yourself in, I don't want to say a bad position, but you shouldn't be deducted, I don't think.
What, do you have an opinion, Evan?
Yeah, I don't think that if you're willing to go straight into guard, I don't think that that's something that you get for.
You heard it here, folks.
Maybe some sort of time or something like, 30 seconds if you pull guard and nothing happens, maybe you get a disadvantage or something because, I understand them wanting to encourage action. So it's like, yeah, if you just pull guard and close your guard for 30 seconds, you get penalized. I don't know. Or getting rid of closed guard altogether. You can't close your guard.
I've thought of that, but that would be silly too. Yeah. I mean, because plenty of people can be on top and stall someone out from closed guard as well, All right, so let's move on to our next segment, which goes well with what we just kind of did. So this segment is called Jiu-Jitsu Shark Tank. If you do jiu-jitsu, you know what Shark Tank is. Shark Tank is when there's people in the middle of the mat and there's minnows on the outside. The minnow goes to the shark. They battle it out. Whoever wins stays in the Shark Tank. And then there's Shark Tank, the show, where people pitch business ideas, stuff like that. So here's Jiu-Jitsu Shark Tank. Since I came up with the segment, I'm going to start us off. I have to pitch you guys are the sharks. I have to pitch you guys a fake Jiu-Jitsu product. Okay. So the video, I don't know if it's going to play on here.
Oh, perfect.
But the ads didn't turn out great. I made some AI ads.
Well, your teeth look great.
Yeah, my AI teeth are better than my real teeth.
No, I'm joking.
So this device is an anti-guard pulling device. Basically, to keep it simple for you sharks, because I don't want to bore you with any technological mumbo jumbo.
And for this reason, I'm out.
Please let me finish, Shark. I trust that your decision will change. So this device is an anti-guard pulling device. Again, I don't want to waste your time with techno but mumbo jumbo. Basically, if we were to keep it in simple terms, this device is an airbag. It's small, but it packs a punch. Hey now. This you could put easily in your gi, and we even have a Velcro attach system so it can't fall off. And at any point, if your partner goes to pull their guard, you can throw this device under their buttocks. I hope that's okay, sharks. As soon as it feels pressure, like a landmine, it goes off. But we're not looking to kill anybody who's pulling guard.
Sounds like my mental health.
That would be crazy. So it pops them right back to their feet. Every time they sit, you throw the device out like a ninja star to defeat the guard pullers.
Okay. How much does it cost to make and how much do you sell it for?
So here's the issue. There's some techno mumbo jumbo. Again, I don't want to bore you, but right now it costs me about $500 to make one device. I found a couple guys to purchase it, but I could only sell it for $100 because they spent a bunch of money on just stand-up instructions.
So you've mentioned this mumbo jumbo. Are you in New Orleans?
Yes, sir, I am. Down by the bayou. And I hope
are you gonna
I get a buy
the
from
video?
you. The video won't play on here, so I'll just play it on the podcast. I'll cut it in or something.
But I want.
Okay, you want to
watch
see it? Sure. Well, I'll cut it in during this. Oh, actually,
don't do it.
I can't play it anyways.
All right.
So I'm losing money, but the market research shows with recent instructional sales and trends in social media content.
So what's it called?
The anti-guard pulling device.
Okay, that's the first. We got to shorten the name.
Do you have a better name?
Well, it's not my product, but if it was, I'll think about it.
Yeah, it's tough, sir. I came up with a lot of names, and that was kind of the best one.
Say it again.
Anti-guard pulling device.
G-D.
All right. Shark, Evan Shark. Hey, Evan Shark.
Evan Shark.
Do you have any questions about the anti-guard pulling device, or can we just go ahead and sign the deal now?
Is it a one-time use item or can it be reused?
Great question.
It can be reused. The more you reuse it, the more likely it is to malfunction.
You said it's an airbag, right?
Of sorts.
And what country is this being manufactured? Or you said New Orleans?
Originally, we were going to do it in a country, but we settled for a county, Lafayette County.
Is it Lafayette out yet?
Let me do those.
I struggled.
Let me do that. Let me do those ones.
Yeah, so what do we... I don't want it. I'm not putting my money in for this.
All right, well... I am offering a pretty good deal just to, I mean, you already said you're not interested, but you seem like a smart guy who likes good deals. So let me just kind of say the deal because it would be crazy for me to come all this way and not say the deal. So I'm willing to give up 6 to 7% of my company for I mean, honestly, right now I'm living in my car. If you give me an apartment for
Like most
six,
jiu-jitsu people, this guy's living in his car.
if you give me an apartment for 6 months, I'll give you 80% of the company.
Yeah, I don't want it. Don't need it either, to be honest with you.
All right. And that was our segments for Shark Tank. I did not get any buyers. Next week, you have to do the hard work and come up with a product.
I already came up with the product.
All right. Let's finish up with one last thing. We're going to do a little story time. We both have some stories. So, my story, a little backstory. So, this involves me and an old training partner. I'll just say that. And I was like blue belt, purple belt at the time. He was a black belt. We used to train together a lot. And our relationship, we were very close. So he's not doing this with like a trial white belt, but with me, it was like a brotherly relationship. So I just want to preface the story with that. So we were training and he got onto mount and he was sweating a lot. I think it was probably summertime, and just dripping sweat down on my face while I'm suffering under mount. And he could tell I was like trying to get away from it. And he just shook his head to make sure every sweat drop dripped down into my face while he was on top of me. And that happened. Whatever. It's funny. Okay, a little bit later in the roll, I get on top of him and I'm in a position where I can start shaking my sweat into his face. So I start shaking my sweat in his face and he proceeds to open his mouth and stick out his tongue to catch the raindrop. No laughing? Now you guys are making me feel weird about this story.
It's pretty extreme. I didn't know this is how your first date with your wife went.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah,
it was
I
a
mean,
funny, and it was
Who
like,
was it? Spell his name out like this.
this
Oh, yeah, I got it.
old instructor.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you said training partner.
Yeah, I was trying to be vague, but who cares? Like, it's nothing bad happened. It's funny, and it's like ultimate warfare.
I mean,
I
we
feel
do
like.
that sweat to each other all the time.
Yeah,
There's only a select few people I'll do it to, but yeah, I mean, I think it's funny. You got to have that brotherly relationship in order to do stuff like that. You should not do that to everyone.
definitely don't. What was your funny story?
Went to class. I had a hurt thumb wrist situation going on my right hand, and I went to where the athletic tape was, just kind of in my own world, not really distracted by anything, just not thinking. Class starts, and like halfway through the warm up, I realized I taped the wrong hand. I taped the uninjured hand, and decided that I was too embarrassed to do anything. So I trained with tape on the healthy hand and no tape on the hurt hand. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
That's pretty funny. I've definitely done the same thing before. Like, spent time on taping something up only to be like, it's the other ankle or whatever it is. Do you have any funny stories from training that you can think of?
No, nothing that I can think of off the top.
All right. Well, fax me when you remember.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I'll read it on the
Yeah.
next podcast.
Call the pager.
Who's pager?
Either.
All right. Well, this has been another episode of Twinjitsu. Evan, thank you for joining us. We'll have more information to come about Technique is King, but if you like this artwork you see, check us out at twinjitsupod.com or techniqueisking.co. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube, Apple Music, or podcast, whatever they're calling it these days, Spotify, all that good stuff. We are also on Instagram at Twinjitsupod. Do you have anything to plug?
Talent out.
Talent
Is
out.
that good?
We're going to take Industry 5. See you later.